Welcome to another video where I make more poor choices. This is my 1972 Lotus Europa, and I took the water pump off yesterday because I want to clean everything out in here and replace the water pump seal because it was leaking. I don't think that seal is coming back to life. That thing's dead. I broke not one, but two bolts off in the head. So today we're going to see if we can extract those. The reason these bolts snap off is because the block is aluminum. I really need to get rid of that RTV. That looks like garbage. But not the block. The head is aluminum, and the water pump is aluminum, but the bolts are steel. And those two don't like going together most of the time, so it wound up having a colossal issue, completely rusting out and getting stuck in the water pump. I actually had to chisel the water pump off of the block so I could actually replace the seal. That wasn't very ideal if you couldn't tell. So today we're just going to replace the studs, and we're not gonna replace the studs. We're gonna pull the studs out somehow. I don't know how yet. The first thing I'm gonna do is just clean up the area in general, and I think the best way to do this is with a wire wheel. So that is now at an acceptable amount of clean, and while cleaning that, I had a thought. I have acquired a magnet, and I can show you what I'm doing. So, the head is aluminum. This isn't magnetic. The bolts are steel. They are magnetic. So, I think I can weld to those, and they should be able to come out. Because the main thing is they weren't actually stuck in the head. I actually had to chisel them off so I could get the water pump off. They were stuck inside the water pump because what they did was they expanded and just completely locked everything up. Alright, so we got the welding stuff here with the welder, and I have a nut, and I'm wondering if I can actually hook the ground strap to the aluminum. I'm going to try that first. If I can't, I'll just hold it on with the nut, because we're just going to weld through the middle of it. I want to avoid drilling this out, honestly, because the steel is harder than the aluminum, and every time I try to do something like this, it'll slip off the steel and go straight into the aluminum and destroy it. I don't want it to happen this time because I have two blocks, but I don't have two heads. So if I'm going to screw something up on this, I better screw up the block. Alright, so I just welded this nut to the top of the head. I am not going to touch that. Oh, wow, I almost touched that. Okay, yeah, I just welded, yeah, that would have been a mistake. But I just welded the nut to the top of the stud, so I'm going to let it cool down, and then hit it with a ratchet and see what happens. Alright, the first one failed, so what I've done now is I've welded a little nub to it, and I'm going to weld a bolt on top of that, or I'm going to weld a nut on top of that, because I don't think it had a good connection with it. But that should have an okay connection now. Alright, there's part 2 now. Let's let that cool down and see what happens. Alright, let's see what happens. Oh, yeah. There we go. This is always fun when this stuff works out. Look at that. It's coming out. There it is. Let's do the other one. And this one is out now. This one, the nut broke off, and then I just took it by the nub there, and that wound up breaking off halfway through, but I was able to get it out anyway. So now I just gotta get new nuts, or new bolts, and we should be good.